How are you doing today, my lazies? Now, I know the craziness and hype going around with how abhorrent this beef is going, and people are finally giving J. Cole his flowers for not getting involved. The leaks of the recent receipts on Drake's sketchy behavior, and more. So I'm gonna address the craziness. Let's get to it. Now, I want to start off with the least important part of the video that actually holds the most weight right now, and that's J. Cole pulling a Shikamaru on the entire game. He literally warned in his apology that there was a bomb being dropped on the game, and people assumed he was addressing the Diddy situation. But finally seeing the bombs both Kendrick and Drake have dropped, it makes sense that he didn't get involved. I did mention that it was just bad timing for Cole to respond, as he respects both rappers and the entire game is going after Drake. So they'd associate him with Drake no matter what. I said, like many of the actual hip hop fans, that I just wanted to see Cole and Kendrick spar, because I'm not interested in the Drake beef, considering there's literally nothing Drake can do to win, considering Kendrick is extremely private while Drake is extremely public. So the bombs on him would hit more no matter how well he rapped, just like with the Pusha T situation. But after hearing the latest and ungreatest, this is definitely significantly worse, just like I predicted. I still find it strange that Drake started giving J. Cole his flowers after his verse on A Lot with the "Big in their streams, not as big as they seem" bar. I've been saying ever since that line, Drake is either going to help Cole or diss him. We see what happened now. Moving on to Drake. Let me give credit where credit is due, because I don't want stans on either side thinking I'm one of them. I'm fans of all three no matter what happens, but to explain that further, I mean of their music, not the people themselves, because these are celebrities. So us commoners don't know what either of them do in their private lives until it's exposed. Now, I did say that Drake is a battle rapper and the most battle tested of the three, and that he actually is a lyricist, and he's proven it on his disses. The things that make Drake's disses hit harder is that their bops and the punches hit harder, but that's also coupled with the fact that he's Thanos going against the Avengers. He's not just responding to one person, so his bars hold so much more weight overall as far as battling. I don't believe, even though they want to tear him down too, that the little minions should be distracting Drake from his actual competition, which is Kendrick, Future, Ross, Abel, Metro, ASAP, and we can keep going. Should just please stay out of the battle, because it's giving Drake more excuses not to directly confront Kendrick while giving him more screen time for his beats to hit harder, since he's attacking multiple people. If you hadn't noticed on my channel as of lately, I've been posting the 48 Laws of Power and dropped them after the Cole apology. Besides me just being fascinated with that book and how powerful it actually is, this is the exact strategy that I predicted Kendrick would use against Drake, hence why I kept reiterating that Drake can't win. We've already seen Pusha T try a lower level of this, but his beef was cut short, so we didn't get to see how far he could go with it, but Kendrick has clearly shown he can play a game beyond chess. Really listen to all of the responses from this man, and you'll see that he is using each law one by one with each bar, not in a specific order. This man is an actual poet, so subtle creativity is his strongest asset. Drake asking for a quintuple entendre or something he wouldn't understand was child's play, as the title of his 616 in LA has more than double what he asked for in meaning. Yes, there are some super extra interpretations like the 616th episode of One Piece title that just so happens to be a great title for the situation. Or even the fact that 616 is a Marvel reference, considering Drake and Cole said they were like the Spider-Man meme. Or even deeper, with 616 being the original number of the beast. For all of Drake's creativity with this situation, Kendrick has literally been out-arting him in every way but beat and flow. So, looking at the battle, let me actually break down the craziness a bit. Kendrick is an introvert while Drake is an extrovert. Kendrick is a realist while Drake is an actor. I can keep going with the contrast as to why these guys just don't clash on a personal level. But their real beef starts with Kendrick learning some things about Drake on tour that he just didn't like. Fast forward to his hiatus, this was a strategy on a deeper level to make his competition get cocky enough to actually challenge him, since they have only been sneak disses from Drake while Kendrick was at the top of the game without him ever taking the bait to actually battle him like Big Sean did. By making himself the underdog now, he made his competition give in to hubris so he could systematically tear down everything they use for validation. This is literally the 48 laws of power in music form. This is the art of war at its finest. Getting into the actual start of the battle, we have first-person shooter announcing the big three. So Kendrick took that as a play to bait the hubris out of Drake by making a #1 hit that took that achievement away to draw attention to a challenge. Now that he is the little one, no pun intended, and Drake is the big one as far as numbers and prestige. Now that Drake has officially started the battle with push-ups, let's actually analyze it a bit. Push-ups is a hard-hitting song due to the beat and amount of people that are being addressed, so I give it heavy respect. Everyone got one actual bar along with some trolling in between, so it was a fun listen, but nothing truly creative in this track. The back-to-back drop with Tailor Made hit the absolute hardest out of all of Drake's disses so far. I know people hate the AI because it's popular to hate on it, but let's really talk about how well constructed and creative the track was. We have Tupac and Snoop to bring a hard hit with the B-Rabbit from 8 Mile angle on the diss by calling out everything Kendrick would use against him. People going crazy over him disrespecting Tupac. I don't think AI is disrespectful. People are just haters of the AI revolution itself, so I get why it was taken down and all the backlash, but the actual creativity on that is unmatched because it literally predicted all of the angles Kendrick actually used. Now, going into the Kendrick drops. Euphoria was creative in multiple ways, from the title itself, to the content, to the allegations, to the way it dropped. Even though he still made Tailor Made a powerful song by comparison due to still using the angles called out on it, the way he delivered the bars was so much more compelling. He broke down all the surface level antics of Drake while laying breadcrumbs for the new stuff he could expose. Now the next drop with 616 in LA, I believe this is the weakest track as far as an actual diss in the entire battle, but it was still extremely powerful due to what happened right after. This track was a rebuttal to Tailor Made, as it was just a warning to Drake, telling him his next move so he could prepare just like you would do in a war. He's literally showing his art of war strategy in this track while calling out the fact that he knows people just want to bop, they can rock to, but he's got a specific agenda, not trying to prove something people already know about his pen. Now, to make the 616 track so much more powerful, the diss and response was not the actual lyrics, but the title and picture for the song. He's responding to Drake by showing receipts and giving him a quintuple entendre that he can't understand ×2 at the very least. There are so many meanings to that title that it's insane. But to make that track even more powerful comes the responses after. Drake drops Family Ties, while Kendrick drops Meet the Grams the exact same day. That gives so much power to the previous song now that he's literally proving he can predict his angles. Meet the Grams is the nail in the coffin to make the previous track so much more powerful with the allegations. Now, to start glazing Drake some, since I know the stands need some validation as well, Family Ties was so much more energetic, poppy, and dynamic since it actually hits multiple people again, has the best beat in the battle, and his flows are insane. Now, saying all of that, what did Drake actually say about Kendrick in all three of his disses? Drake made some baseless allegations with no hidden receipts anywhere in his track, even through the video. Now, we could say the same about Kendrick, but the only allegation you could truly say Kendrick doesn't have receipts for is the daughter. Hence why Drake is only, again, repeat what I'm saying here, it's the only thing Drake was trying to shoot down from the track. There are some more serious accusations from the track that Kendrick made, yet he chose to focus on the least scathing. That's pretty sus whether you're a stan or not. This is the same strategy used with Adonis, and then we found out he was lying in the end. So it's not looking good that he might have more, considering all the girls, not necessarily women, but the girls he says he's been having sex with all these years. It's more plausible, but again, let's call a spade and keep the same energy. Kendrick doesn't have receipts for that one, just like Drake's wife beating and false adultery allegations. So until either is proven, these are still allegations. Now, comparing Meet the Grams to Family Matters, Drake's track has the advantage of being replayable, poppy, flow, and beat craze. But taking that away, he didn't actually say anything provable while just trolling Kendrick and barring his other non-competition. Drake is winning against everyone but Kendrick. Everyone else got bodied, and I'm not taking that away, but the bars against Kendrick just seem like cheap shots to stir a specific narrative. Again, this is looking objectively at both. Meet the Grams was heavily scathing on so many fronts. No, it didn't have a crazy beat or flow or all the poppy replayable aspects, but the creativity was significantly more potent, to the point that most of the track went over so many people's heads. The title is proof of them all. The picture itself is the receipts for most of the allegations and accusations. The setup was an exorcism for Drake's entire family, including him and his friends, yet people are either too worried about it not being poppy or only focused on the daughter allegations when there were much more serious allegations that low-key already have receipts. Not to mention the follow-up with Not Like Us and the 5 of the tracks Kendrick has lined up. Something else that people skimmed over was him saying Drake has a sex addiction, which is the main issue causing all of his other issues. The whole reason people are attacking him is because he keeps sleeping with other people's girls, which is extremely strange and needs to be a therapy session in itself. The final response from The Heart Part 6 seems to have the majority of reactors actually believing the angle Drake is using without actually diving into the blatant contradictions. He says that Kendrick needs evidence of his allegations, yet there's plenty of online articles on the topic of him with suspicious actions surrounding minors. Literally all of Kendrick's pictures for each song were blatant evidence, and Drake had them taken down and is now threatening to sue for defamation, and he's claiming he's the one that fed lies to Kendrick, which doesn't actually help his case at all. He said that clowns sent false info to his opponent, then turns around and says that he's the one that sent it. So is he calling himself a clown? This response, no matter if he's lying or telling the truth, literally proves what Kendrick has been reiterating throughout each diss of him being a liar and manipulator. If he's telling the truth, he just proves he's a manipulator. But if he's not, he's proving he's a liar. Either way, why would telling someone you're a pedo and have another child work to your advantage? Drake has brought no evidence for his claims, yet keeps asking Kendrick for evidence while making fun of him for molestation when he was a minor, while also trying to deny pedo allegations. Risky move there. If you actually listen to the track, it's actually filled with blatant contradictions, which is sad because, like I mentioned in my previous video, I like all of these artists equally. Unfortunately, staying unbiased, Drake has a lot to answer for and blatantly resigned the battle while not addressing the other allegations. So in every way you can think of, he actually just lost the battle, war, however you want to twist that. Adding on the strategy of Kendrick using Not Like Us as more fuel to troll is incredible, and on Reverse Flash, Dio Brando, and Green Goblin levels of hate, if not beyond. Dropping the concert on Juneteenth while dropping the video to the song to blatantly refute all of the false allegations on Independence Day to hammer in the colonizer bar was not only hilarious, but the most scathing part of this entire battle. I know Drake is trying to pretend he's not affected, but I know this man is foaming at the mouth right now. I advise him to take that long-awaited hiatus, regroup, understand why he lost, then come back with a bang. I don't, and many others don't, want to see this escalate or continue. The nail in the coffin's coffin has already been cemented, and Drake already bowed out while giving a terrible PR stunt. That's grounds to regroup and reassess so he can get his act together and finally give the fans what they've been craving from his masterful hit-making pen. So people are more focused on who sounds better or raps better or exposes better and all of this surface level BS to determine some type of winner. But no one is realizing this isn't a rap battle. This is an exorcism. Drake is baited into making these poppy, peppy, surface level disses while Kendrick is systematically dismantling his whole character using the 48 laws of power and the art of war. Drake isn't losing the battle. No, his reputation is on the line itself. This is the reason I kept saying in my previous video that Drake can't win. Because this isn't a battle of 20v1 for Drake. No, this is Drake being a sacrifice for the industry itself. This was never a battle. It was just bait for Kendrick to expose the industry while giving advice to the people in the industry that haven't gone too dark yet. When they said this was a civil war, people underestimated how deep that line was. This isn't people turning on Drake. This is a sacrifice for the industry to pour all of the dark allegations on yet another person to keep their secrets hidden. This is so much larger than a battle of titans. This is literal war on the industry by using Drake to bring attention to it. Again, Drake is playing darts, missing targets, while Kendrick is in the year 3000 playing 9D chess with a toddler from the 15th century. I know it seems like I'm some Kendrick stan right now, but I'm actually not on this side or Drake's. I'm just laying out the plays I see in real time. Everyone will get their feelings hurt with this war, no matter the side. Now, I know this was a lot and the battle is already over and the stands of both sides will both praise and hate me no matter what I say. We're witnessing a piece of history, and it all started with Cat Williams. The year of the truth continues, and it starts with the industry. What will come next? How long will the era of truth last? How many people will get hurt or disappear because of it? How is the New World Order going to respond? How deep do you think these titans will go with this unhinged war? Let me know your comments down below. Until next time, stay lazy.